Hey friends, happy Tuesday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I typically share What's for Dinner videos like this every Monday where I motivate y'all to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. As I said, it's Tuesday though, because I had some technical difficulties yesterday trying to import video footage. My computer was telling me my SD card was corrupt, so then I tried to transfer the files via USB and it was not cooperating. And then as like one last hope, I decided to put the SD card back in the computer, and that time it worked. I spent literally an hour and a half trying to figure it out, and then it finally just worked, and I was like, okay, fine. But that led me to be off schedule, and I had other things that I needed to get done, so I wasn't able to get this edited in time, so that is why it's a day late. And because of that, my grocery haul is also going to be a day late. It's going to go up on Thursday this week. But if you like these kinds of videos, I hope that you guys will subscribe down below. As I said, I post them usually every Monday, and then I also post a grocery haul every Wednesday with the meal plan, and you kind of know what to look forward to the next week. And then sometimes I throw in an extra vlog or other video here and there. Like this past Sunday, I shared a vlog of our trip to Georgia. It was the trip there. It was some things that we did in Georgia, and then also the trip back. So check that out down below if you haven't already. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Starting off with Friday night, we did pizza, bagels, and salad. I needed something really simple because I actually went grocery shopping this night. After first going and helping a friend move for 2 hours, then we went to Aldi, then we came home and made dinner. So needed something quick and easy, and pizza bagels are perfect for that. So I toasted the bagels in the air fryer for just a little bit to get them a little bit toasty so they weren't like super soft. And then I put on some marinara sauce, some mozzarella cheese, and some pepperoni, and then threw these back in the air fryer for like 7 minutes on 375 just to get nice and melty and toasted. And then, as I said, we had salad on the side for those of us that like salad, and then I like to put hot honey on my pepperoni pizza. That came as a recommendation from one of y'all, and I almost always do that when we have pepperoni pizza now because it is just so good. Saturday night, we had a family favorite, which is red beans and rice. This is like really simple one pot red beans and rice. And the original recipe doesn't even include the smoked sausage, but I just like brown it up a little bit in the pan, remove it, and then follow the rest of the instructions. I will have a video linked down below where I made it step by step, and then of course served it on top of some white rice that I made in the Instant Pot. Sunday, we tried what I think was a new recipe for us. I cannot remember if I made this before or not. It's a stuffed pepper casserole, and it turned out really good, so I definitely will be making this again. Starting off by browning some ground beef. Mine was like mostly frozen still, so I put a lid on it and let it start to like heat up and like thaw over the stove. And once it was like able to be chopped up, then I chopped it up and let it cook about halfway, and then I'm adding in some chopped bell peppers and some chopped onion, and I let that cook until it was like semi-tender. The onions were kind of translucent, and then I added in a couple tablespoons of the garlic butter that I buy. It used to be Chef Chamois, but now Sam's Club has their own brand. I added in a couple tablespoons of that because the meat that I was using was really lean, and I just wanted to have a little bit of grease. So I added some butter, and then I also added in some of that garlic paste that I have in the tube and let that cook up for a couple more minutes. And at that point, I also added in my seasonings, which were some salt, oregano, pepper, and cumin. And again, just cook that for a couple more minutes. Then I'm going to add my broth and scrape up any brown bits from the bottom. I'm going to add in my rinsed white rice and my salsa and give that all a good stir and brought it to a simmer. Once it came to a simmer, I covered this and reduced the heat to a medium-low and let that continue to simmer for about 20 minutes. The liquid was absorbed, and then I wanted to check and make sure that my rice was cooked through. And then all you have to do is sprinkle this with some cheese. I did a combination of mozzarella and cheddar cheese. Put the lid on this for a couple minutes, let that melt, and then this was ready to serve. As I said, we loved this. It was delicious. Definitely going to be a family favorite. Andy took it for work, I think the next day, and he said somebody complimented him that it smelled really good, and he said it tasted really good. So he really liked it. I think he took leftovers of this 2 times because Nobody ended up eating the other serving because we were like out and about and like took lunch to the park or whatever, and so didn't really have a microwave to heat that up, so he ended up eating it again. Monday we had barbecue pork chops and then some sheet pan green beans and potatoes. So for the green beans and potatoes, I just kind of seasoned them all over with some various seasonings, and then also a Lipton onion soup packet and some oil, and cooked those at 425 for about 45 minutes, tossing halfway through. And then at the very end, I sprinkled them with some Parmesan cheese. And then for the pork chops, I seasoned them, I think, with some steak seasoning and salt and pepper. And then I covered them all over with some barbecue sauce and baked them for 25 minutes at the 425. That was it. Super simple. We had some applesauce on the side as well. Elijah still doesn't like the fresh green beans, but he keeps trying them and eating a couple of them every single time. Tuesday was spaghetti night. Just regular old spaghetti pasta with some marinara sauce and ground beef, and then some frozen broccoli steamed in the microwave, seasoned with some garlic powder, salt, pepper, and some Parmesan cheese. And that's it. Super simple, but always a hit with my family. Wednesday we had Queso Smothered Burritos. So I'm starting off with some chicken breast in my Instant Pot, and I'm seasoning that all over with some taco seasoning and some adobo seasoning. And then I threw on some salsa, about a cup of water, and then I put the Instant Pot lid on this, turned it to sealing, and cooked this for 15 minutes and let it do a natural release. When it was done, I went in and shredded it up and then set that to the side. I'm going to be assembling our burritos with some of that shredded chicken and then some rice that I actually made in the microwave. It's a box of rice-a-roni, and it's like Mexican style, and made it in the microwave. It was super simple, and I don't typically make the rice in the microwave, but sometimes I just don't feel like using the stove. So I did that, and then we also added cheese, rolled them up burrito style, and then I toasted them on the stove. Once they were toasted, I just covered them in cheese dip. And then I had some chunky salsa on top of mine. I think Andy did the same thing with his. And then the kids had chips and salsa on the side. This next meal is one that I've shared pretty recently. It's like really simple. It's like high protein Knorr pasta with smoked sausage and broccoli. So you just take 2 packages of the Knorr pasta side, that's the cheddar broccoli flavor, and you're adding some smoked sausage to it. This time I used this turkey cheddar one that I picked up on clearance at Aldi. It was actually very good. I don't think anybody noticed that it was turkey, so definitely would recommend that. And then instead of milk, I add a little bit of a mixture of cottage cheese that's blended up and milk, just a little bit of milk to kind of thin it out a little bit, in place of just regular milk, and that helps make it higher protein. And then you're also adding in a bag of steamed broccoli for more vegetables. It's a great way to like bulk up the Knorr pasta sides and also make it more like healthy, more filling for your family. So I will leave a video down below where I made that step by step. That has quickly become like a family favorite, simple, like quick and easy pantry recipe. I was actually supposed to make something different this night, but I didn't feel like it. I don't remember why, but I did not feel like making chicken thighs. So instead I had all the stuff on hand to make this, so I just threw it together really fast. And now it's time for our weekly member shout outs. I shout out my channel members every week and the What's for Dinners. That's one of the member perks. So thank you to all 20 of you who have chosen to support me and my channel in an additional way. It really means a lot. If you don't know, you can become a channel member. It's $1.99 a month, and you get some special perks like these shout outs, some behind the scene photos. The emojis that you see on the screen were created by me, and you get those. I'm trying to create more, but I've just been so busy. So if you are interested in that, it should be down below and next to the subscribe button in my name. If you don't see it, go to like your Google Chrome browser or Safari and log into YouTube there, and then you should be able to join. That's going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You can come back on Thursday this week and see the grocery haul. And I hope y'all have a great week. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on trying these recipes, and leave me a smiley face emoji down in the comments as well to let me know that you made it here to the end. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!